What is up, legends? I have a very special video today on GEGI, one of the hottest plays in the OTC right now. They are planning on a huge EV merger. They had a huge run all the way up to 2 cents, or just right around that area. Came all the way back down, a lot of sell-offs, and they're currently at 0.007. And I do think this may be the bottom for this stock, but it all depends on the updates that come out as well. Guys, make sure you like this video. Put on notifications if you haven't already, and enjoy the video. So one thing good about this company, the CEO is very communicative and transparent, it looks like. And 2 days ago, he said, "Good morning, faithful shareholders. Please see the following update. Genesis Electronics Group, GEGI, was able to negotiate with 2 of its largest shareholders to convert 500 million shares of common stock that is currently issued and outstanding into newly created Series B convertible preferred stock. This will reduce the number of current shares outstanding of common stock by 500 million shares, which I do believe is around 25% of the OS. This new preferred stock will have conversion limitations that make the shareholders more tied to the long-term success of the company." So guys, when they have preferred stock and they issue it, usually there's a date that they have to wait until they can sell their stocks whenever they want. So it looks like short term, this will be good for the stock, but eventually they will be able to cash in the stocks. And I do not know what the terms are on the actual preferred stock. Or they may have an agreement set in place where they cannot convert into common stock until the share price reaches a certain price. So as you can see in the purple right here, these are the 2 largest shareholders. Back in April of 2022, they were both issued 250 million shares, and they got them for a price of 0.001. And of course, they do get a discount on these shares, probably around 10%. And they are restricted shares, so they do have a certain threshold of time that must be met before they can sell them. I don't know exactly when that is. Apparently, there are 800 million restricted. So those are mainly just the 2 shareholders. The restricted shares are going to go away. That'll leave the company with 970 million shares that they can dilute. And it does look like they will dilute, I don't know how many, maybe all those shares for what they're working on. Okay, so they have 970 million shares. Let's break this down. So 970 million shares times the current price of today's 0.007. And guys, I'm sure that they will wait until about this hits about 1 or 2 cents if they have news and stuff that they think is going to push the price up. I'm sure they won't dilute at this price. But the good thing is that the actual share structure isn't really going to change. Just the restricted shares are going to be unrestricted, and they can be used for clearing out the debt. They have $2 million in debt, and they also have stuff they have to fund. So the share structure really isn't going to change that much. Like I said, so this would leave them with $6.8 million cash, and that's if they sold today. Now I'm sure that they'll be able to get like $16 to $25 million out if they wait and the share price goes up. This is just at today's price, theoretically, if they did sell it. So let's take out they have around $2 million in debt, so let's take that out. That'll leave them with $4.8 million in available funding from shares. Again, I've already said this earlier, but it says, in addition, this share exchange will free up common stock that can be used for near-term financing events, as well as cleaning up debt on the company's books. So the balance sheet, the debt is, I'm assuming they will get rid of all of that, or a good portion of it, probably all of it, I don't know. But that leaves them with around $5 million. And this is if they diluted all shares at today's price. Now, hopefully the share price can go up and they get way more out of it than this. And maybe they're going to wait until they have an announcement or something that pushes the stock price up before they do sell the shares. Plus, they probably have to wait a while anyways. So that tells me that they are not going after a $1 billion merging company. It doesn't look like, or they would have way more funding available. But there may be some type of licensing deal or something else like that going on with these rumored XOS trucks, etc., that the board of advisors that were recently hired have good connections to. Also, the restricted shares may not be updated it may actually just be the 1 billion, and it may just be not updated yet. But according to OTC Markets, it's 800 million, so it may be completely capped out and nothing that can be done on the share structure until they raise authorized. So not even like a million, not even room for like a million or 200 million shares. Really, the main thing it's gonna mess with is the available shares. Once this actually happens, the float is going to be twice as big. So it's going to be harder to move the price up. I think it's the bottom for the stock at 0.007. You never know. It's at 0.0067 right now. But you never really know, guys, because they could put a PR out in the morning and drive this all the way up to over 2 cents, maybe even higher. Or they could be silent with no good news for a while, and then the stock could really go down. But I will say this, I really do like what the CEO is doing. He's really keeping the shareholders in mind and doing what's good for them, at least in the short term. So those convertible notes of the 2 largest shareholders will eventually come into play, but hopefully it'll be when the stock is in a way better place. So whenever they do convert those back into common stock and sell them, hopefully the company will be way further along and it won't be as big of a deal. Or, you know, these shareholders may wait for a very long time and believe in the company, or if the price shoots up, they may go ahead and sell. But either way, they do need this funding right now, and I think this was a good move on the CEO's part. But in the short term, it's really good for the shareholders. And you have to understand that the fact that these 2 shareholders were willing to even do this is a big sign that they believe in the company and they will get a bigger reward in the long term. So it's good to know that they actually believed in the company enough to do that. Guys, other than that, we're waiting on more news from the company. They are dealing with a lot of corporate things. And as soon as that happens, they will schedule an interview, which I really want to see. It may be a while before we hear that, but maybe not, hopefully not. Also waiting for more information on the possible merger. But guys, if they have some really big news come out, it'll really shoot the price up. And I'm really looking at that. The price is at 0.0068, right at 0.007. It had a run all the way up to 2 cents around that area, drop back down. The share structure is not going to change that much, and it can't even do anything right now with the AS. It's pretty much capped out. Waiting for any news or PR from the CEO right now. Really waiting for that. Guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe, put notifications on. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.